So if you remember, we were speaking about good manners. So remember, good manners means like, when we know how to behave and act when we're, you know, in public, in social, around people. So it's really important that we can know how to speak, well to, or just do something that's kind and nice. If we need to go and give our seat to someone, or as we said yesterday with Julieta, she has, I think it was your partner, he opens the door for you, he opens the seat for you. So gestures means like behaviors, things that we do that are just very kind and thoughtful and also very considerate. Considerate means when we think about other people, not just ourselves, we think of other people. So that's what we're talking about, good manners. And now we're going to do a bit of speaking about good manners and bad manners. So bad manners is just the opposite. It's when you do something that's not good, not nice, it's rude, it's maybe inappropriate. Inappropriate means, just not like, for example, if you're in a workplace and you come and maybe, kiss everyone, like it's just not really the right place. Because as we were speaking about yesterday, you know, I know that there's different communities, you're more close, you want to kiss each other, hug each other when you greet each other. But in the workplace, maybe you shouldn't really do that, especially in Australian culture. So today we're going to look at good manners and bad manners. So let's have a look at each of these sentences and see um, what we think, if we agree or don't agree. So you could see we have here, um, we use formal language when speaking to an older person. So if you're speaking to someone who's maybe someone that's your boss, or it could be someone that you at your doctor's appointment, or you're somewhere just speaking to someone who's older than you. Do you think that's good manners or bad manners to use formal language? Formal language means not very casual. So, you're careful about the words that you say. It's just a bit more formal. Do you think that's good manners or bad? Or not important? We could choose even not important. I think it's probably a little bit of good manners. It's nice to kind of speak in a formal, way to someone that's older than you. I would say, yeah, it's good manners. So you can put GM for good manners. You can put BM for bad manners, or NI for not important. So for me, this is your opinion. I think it's good manners. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you agree? How about if you kiss somebody on both cheeks when you meet them for the first time? Now, again, I know this is culture. Uh, you're from India, I think, India, and we have from Bangladesh. What's your culture like? We know in Brazil, same like my background, we have to, and even it's rude if you don't. We have to do it. How about in your culture? Should you kiss someone or no? I think no, from India,
No, in Bangladesh it's a big no. But
a
I
big
was
no.
visiting Saudi Arabia, so in there
The
it's like
opposite.
necessary. I mean, you have to do it.
That's interesting that you say that. Wow. Yes. Saudi Arabia, you said it's very
Yeah.
necessary. It's respectable. It's a sign of showing someone respect when you meet them, even for the first time, to kiss them on both cheeks. So we could see that's interesting that you've gone from your culture and then to live in a different country with a different culture, and it was the complete opposite.
Yes.
Wow. So you can put your opinion, you could put to kiss somebody on both cheeks when you meet them for the first time. Let's try and think, okay, in Australia, let's try and put these manners, good manners, into Australia, just so that we could all have an idea of what we think here. I think it's not important. I don't think it's bad if you do it. Maybe the person might feel uncomfortable, but it's not important in Australia. What do you think in Australia?
I think
Yeah, it's not here, it's not required. Like what you said, in Saudi Arabia, you must, I think you used the word it's necessary or it's expected. You said a very good word. Yeah. So in Australia, no, we don't have to kiss someone on both cheeks for the first time when we meet them. Okay, how about using your partner's parents' first names? So, for example, if you're meeting your partner's dad, would you call him by his first name? So if it's Mario or whatever name, or would you say Mr. or would you say uncle? Some cultures, I know in India, they say uncle. Yeah, uncle and auntie. What do you say in your culture in Brazil? The first name. Yeah. It's same like in Australia. We use the first name. So it's good manners. Um, have you noticed that? Samaya?
yes.
Yeah. In Australia, it's good manners. You could just say the first name. We're very casual here. So when you meet your boyfriend's dad or your girlfriend's mum and dad, you could just say the first name of that. Doesn't matter. So yeah, it's good manners. It's even better if you want to say, Mr. or Mrs. someone, but they are more likely to say, that's okay, just call me, just call me Maria, just call me whatever. So it's very casual here with that. Okay, how about men and women? A man should pay for the meal on the first date. Do you think that a man should, if he invites you to take you out for dinner, should he pay for your dinner? I think it's very good. Or not important.
Depends on
Yeah.
the. I think there are a lot of girls who takes it like they get offended when like men want to split. Sorry, men want to pay. They often to men to want the men to split the bill. And I would prefer if someone pays for me. So it actually depends. For me, I feel like it depends on your preferences. So to some it may be important, to some it may not be.
Yeah, so that's pretty good opinion. Maybe it also depends on how far they're in their relationship. It's that if it's this one actually says the first date. So yeah, it's a first date. So they're just getting to know each other. And as you said, maybe the woman might feel a little offended. She might feel like she doesn't want to have to owe you something back, or if the date doesn't go well, she doesn't want to have to, be like, thank you that you paid for my dinner. Yeah, but I like what you said. But you said, but for me, I would like for a man to pay. I'm like that too.
Yes.
I'm a little bit traditional. I think even if it's the first date, I actually get offended if I have to split. So I'm actually the opposite. I'm very offended with the split because then I feel like we're friends. And I think always the first date is really what you're going to see the second time, the third time, the fourth time. So if it's the first one, it could be a small dinner. It doesn't have to be expensive dinner. And then that way you don't feel bad that he paid for your meal, but we all have different, yeah. I think the most important thing, as long as you maybe see what the man wants to do, kind of like let him ask you, would you want me to pay or do you want to split it? Maybe it's good to wait for the man. And then you can feel, yeah. Okay, how about when the man holds the door open for a woman or he waits for her to go through the door first? We said that yesterday. You love her. Me too. I think it's a good feeling. A woman feels like she's taken care of. Like, so simple. It's very simple. You- It's yes, you feel like you're valued. You're treated like a princess, like he cares about you. Yes, every woman and girl should expect that. So I think that's very good manners when a man opens the door, but not just opens the door. I like what it says after, and he waits for her to go in. So sometimes you'll have a man, he'll open the door, but he himself will go first. So I think it's nice. He opens the door and then he waits for the woman to walk in. And then she should stop while he comes, and then he continues to walk her to their dinner table, or he walks her to, well, even if they're just going, and gives a secure feeling. Good word. Expect that. Expect that. I like those words. So, as a woman, we expect the man to open the door for us. It's like a secure feeling. Again, it's like he's taking care of us. How about when he accompanies a woman home? That means like when he walks the woman. So, say he's dropped her off at her home, but then he'll walk with her to her front door. Now, this is very traditional. They used to always, you must do that. But how about now? Do you expect the man to just drop you off, wait in the car as you walk to the door? Sometimes, as you get out of the door, he will drive off, which I find a little bit rude because you should care to make sure that the woman enters her house. You know, then you make sure she's arrived home safely to the end moment. Do you think it's
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to say that's extremely good manners. To accompany her home. I think back in the olden days, the man would walk with her to the front door. I think now it's a bit strange if the man walks to you to the front door. I think it's nice for him to wait in the car, and then you turn around as soon as you open your door, you say even goodbye, and then he drives off. So, but to walk to the door, do you think that's he should do that, or it's not necessary?
I think walking might not be necessary. He might like wait in the car.
Yeah,
That is, I mean, for me, it's enough.
it's enough. Yeah, I was going to say that same word too. It's enough. I think it's enough. Yeah. And even if he does want to walk you to the front door, that's even more amazing. But as long as he doesn't expect you to invite him inside, that's where it gets a bit uncomfortable. Like, you don't want to have to feel like, oh, do you want to come inside? And then it gets a bit strange. And, so if he knows that he's walking you to the door, but then that's it, he knows to just leave it there and walk away, then I think that's okay. That's even more, yeah, amazing. Okay, how about when you're invited to somebody's house for a meal, should you take a present?
In our culture, it's, it shows a good omen, but I think I mean, since I can only speak for myself, I feel like it's good manner.
Okay, so I like that you related that to your culture. I can know what you mean by that. Sometimes we take like a home baked, maybe cookies or a cake. It depends how close you are to the person. So a present is not like a gift, like you buy something, but it's more like maybe a woman, she makes something, or she just buys, a cake or something, or especially if they're invited for dinner. So yeah, when you're invited for a meal, it's nice that you can then, oh, a bottle of wine. In Australia, it's very common. We can bring a bottle of wine. So we do that too, but maybe more so in your culture. I think in Brazil, is it casual? It's so different because Brazil, when you ask for something for me, for eat anything, you go, yes, you buy one thing and another, yes, and you cook it together. Oh, eat. Um, so different. Yeah, at least they we like everybody's kind of waiting, yeah, for the meal. You- you- Now, I know. Now buy one thing. Cook it, prepare it before your yeah. I like this deal. I know. I know. I think I need to be in Brazil. I like your culture. So you were saying in Brazil, if you invite someone to come over, maybe they can bring some ingredients or something, but then you actually cook it together, the meal, and enjoy that part, and then serve it and eat it together. Oh, yeah. Yes. I love that. Yeah. It's nice. I like that. You appreciate it after because you all helped to make the meal happen. Like that's beautiful. So yeah, you could say that's very good manners in your culture. In Australia, yeah. So we put good manners because in Australia we don't really we ask, do you want some help? But generally the host will always say, no, no, it's okay, sit, relax, and talk. That's just our culture. But you always bring something, a bottle of wine, um, or just like I said, you could buy a cake or some, chocolates, or I don't know, something. But yeah, it's a bit less common than in your country. Same. I like the idea because I love to cook. So it would be interesting. And you learn from each other and you're talking and you're relaxed, like you're not just sitting and waiting and the woman's just in the kitchen doing everything by herself. How about if you take your shoes off when you enter someone's houses? Now we know cultures like Japanese or I think Chinese, that's a big must for them. They have to, you always see their shoes outside of their homes. In Australia, it's not, we don't do it. So it's not important. If you go to someone's house, you don't have to take off your shoes before you enter their house. It's not important. But what about in your culture? Brazil? No. No, I would think no. You do it here? Oh, interesting. I never, no, with my family and culture, no. And friends, no. But is your friends Brazilian? Oh. But they only do it here in Australia, but not in Brazil. Yeah, it's interesting why your culture changes here because Australians don't do that. So it's not like they're trying to be like Australian people because Australian people don't do that. It's more Chinese, Japanese cultures, maybe Indian. Yeah, no, we don't do it. So that's interesting how, well, I don't know. In India, I think you have to, you must. And say in Bangladesh, is it very, very common and not just common, but it's a sign of respect that you're walking into someone's house to take off your shoes?
We usually do.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
they,
I feel like
yeah.
it's pretty common
Yes.
back home. Yeah.
Okay. So you could write, for me, I wrote not important because I know with my friends and family, we don't do that. But you can write it's good manners, yes. Because even if you live here in Australia, in another country, you're still seeing people from your culture. So you're still doing it. So you could write GM, good manners. That's good manners. Okay, what about if you criticize the food? Maybe someone served you a food and it's too cold, or there's too much salt, or something just doesn't too dry. Maybe the meat is very dry. In Australia, it's very bad manners to say something about the food negative. So we try to not be too honest. If you get served a meal, you just have to say, thank you, it's so nice. And really don't try to tell the chef, the person that made the food, if it was bad. But how about in your culture? Maybe in Brazil, it's very common. Hey, what did you do? It's too dry or it's too salty. Bring the salt. Yeah, to tell someone their food is not good. Yes. Yeah. So it's good that. Yeah, I'm sure. Because they're very casual. It's okay. Like it's friendly. Exactly. Yes, I like that. You make a friend, 2, 3 weeks later, they're your family. Okay, how about send a message the next day to say thank you? So maybe again, you've been invited to someone's house for dinner. I think that's very good manners. I tend to always do it maybe after the night, if it's not too late. You would say, thank you so much for inviting me to dinner. I had such a great time. Yeah, it's very common. I think it's good manners. It's showing that you really appreciated being at someone's house and you just want to, you could send it the next day. That's fine as well. Just say a quick little short message. I think if you keep the message short and you say, thank you very much. I really enjoyed the meal that you made last night and the company was really good. I hope to see you again soon. Or you could say something like, next time dinner is at my house. So you can even then make an invitation for them to come to your home. So I think we all agree, good manners to always say thank you to someone that made a dinner for us. Okay, how about when we're having a meal with friends in a restaurant? Do you think it's good or bad manners to complain that the food isn't very good? If it's a restaurant, I think in Australia it's very common. We always talk about the food. So you ask your friend, how is your meal? Is it good? And your friend will be honest. She'll say, no, this tastes really bad. It's not bad. No one's going to get offended because you're in a restaurant. It's not like your friend made the meal. So here it's a little bit in the middle. You can complain, maybe not too much, but it's not bad manners. Do you think it's bad manners? If you're with yeah, it's not important. It's not good or it's not bad. It's kind of, yeah. Do you not like it if you're at a restaurant with your friend and then she's talking about her meal, that it's bad? No, usually girls will help each other out and they'll say, should I get the waiter and he can get you another one? So when you're at a restaurant, we care to have a good meal because we paid for it. So I think it's fine to complain, to even tell the waiter, oh, excuse me, I didn't order this. Maybe it was a wrong order as well. So it's important to just not complain in a very bad way to seem like we're very rude, but at least if we say it in a kind way, then that's fine. We're at a restaurant, we paid for our meal, so we expect the meal to be good. Okay, how about if someone insists on paying for exactly what you ate or drank when the bill is being divided up? I think it depends how close you are with the people. If you're going with work people, that's fine. You might want to divide, what each person ate or ordered or drank. But if you're with family, that's very strange to divide. Usually not important. Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some families take it as a sign of like, yeah, there would be one person that wants to pay. It's respectable. It's showing a sign of yeah. No, not important. But with workmates, yeah, it's okay. You should pay for what that's normal. You ordered what you ordered, you should pay for it. How about if somebody is very affectionate with your partner? So, for example, you're sitting with your partner, so that means your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your husband, or your wife, and then someone that's sitting next to them is, smiling a lot with them, touching them, joking with them. I think that's very bad manners, extremely. So I'm going to put BM, very bad manners. I don't think it's not nice, to do that to someone's husband or, someone's, yeah. So I think it's not a sign of respect, and you shouldn't be taking the attention from that person, from his wife or his girlfriend. So it's bad manners to be talking to someone else's husband or someone else's wife, but not just talking, affectionate. Affectionate means when you show feeling. So you're laughing a lot, you're touching, you're, getting too close, more than friends, that's not good. How about on social media? When you post a photo or video of a friend without asking their permission. So we know nowadays it's very common when you go out with your friends, you're all taking photos. But if you want to post a group photo, and I have a lot, it happens a lot. My friend will say, please, can you delete that photo? But it's like, it's a photo of everyone. If I delete that photo, I won't have a photo of my night. I think it's personal. Then we don't post a photo for Facebook or Instagram. That's important. So don't post it, are you saying? Or if somebody told that delete the photo, we don't post. That's our personal. Yeah, that's your personal post. Yeah. If you want to post that, you can post that. Yeah. Now, it's very common that you can tag someone's name. Just don't tag them. Do you know what I mean? So it won't come on their Facebook page. But I don't think it's rude to put a group photo, unless you took an extremely bad photo of them, like where their eyes are closed or where they're doing something embarrassing. That's not good to post a photo of them in that way. But really, if it is just a photo of a group photo and you all look good, there's nothing wrong with the picture. It's decent, it's a good photo, you're showing that you were happy, you just want to show people that you were out somewhere, that's not bad. So it's not important to get their permission. You don't have to ask everyone in the picture. It's in Australia, it's very common, it's not important, but you may get a friend that will say, please delete that photo, which then you kind of have to respect. But at the same time, you may have just one photo and that's it. Then you don't post anything just because one person, that's not fair. So we have to kind of be a little bit fair that is the photo an extremely bad photo? If it's not, then that person should not. That person should not ask you to delete it. It's not kind. How about if we make a negative comment about someone's photo? In Australia, that's very bad manners. And you'll see other people commenting saying, you're so rude. How dare you say that? Keep your opinions to yourself, So it's very bad manners to comment on someone's photo, but say something negative, say something not nice. Bad manners. I think all cultures the same. Yeah. How about if we post a private message or conversation? Bad. Very bad. So bad. Yes. We don't personally. It's very, very bad. You just can't. It's a private conversation that you're having with someone. So you can't just post that message. So then you lose trust that you've told someone something. And for them to just post your private conversation is very bad manners. Okay, so let's talk about some words that we could use. When we want to say our opinion, we can say, I don't think people should, or you could say, I think it's, I don't think, you could say, I hate, I don't mind it, or it really annoys me. You could say when people are rude. Rude means they'll say something bad, some attitude that's just wrong. Selfish means when people only think of themselves. Inappropriate, we talked about this word, like when you're touching someone else's husband. Inappropriate means it is not right. You shouldn't do it. It's just not right. Bad manners means when you do a behavior or an attitude that's just not kind, it's making someone else feel uncomfortable. It's making someone else feel awful, so it's bad manners. Important and have to. Okay, so that's what we did when we talked about uh, good manners and bad manners.